Whether you're interested in sports or not, you probably haven't been able to not notice that there are Olympic Games going on in Vancouver in Canada right now. I've been watching some of the broadcasts from there and realized the other night that there's a lot of things to reflect on in regards to leadership within these competitions. And I'd like to share two of those reflections here with you, because I think they apply to your leadership and my leadership, to the leadership of all of us. Me being from Sweden, I chose to, of course, look and route for the Swedish participants a little bit extra. And it was a Swedish woman, her name is Anna Haag, that won a silver medal in the women's cross-country skiing, one of the events there. And the thing that got my attention was that she was in this race, and there were four skiers in the front of the race when they were nearing the finish. They were in the last uphill before turning into the stadium and the finish. And the thing was, it looked, when you looked on the TV, you could see that right going up that last hill, she started to lose contact with the other three skiers. So it was easy to think that those three would take off and fight it out for the medals, and she would end up fourth. But this all turned around. On the top of the hill, she was back in contention, and going into the stadium, she sprinted to a silver medal, which was a great thing. And afterwards she said what happened was, in that last hill, there were leaders from the Swedish team who stood beside her, and they shouted, "Come on, you can do it, you can do it." And she said right around that time she started losing faith. She thought, "I'm not gonna make it, I'm not able to do it." But the thing was, when after she heard these people shouting, she started noticing that she started catching up with the skiers in front of her. And well, as you know what happened. I just told you. She came in for a silver medal. What does this have to do with leadership? I think it has everything to do with leadership. The important part is in leadership that we cheer for each other. How often do you cheer for your companions, for your family, and how often do they cheer for you? Last time you were working on a project and you felt stuck, who was there routing and cheering for you? Last time you needed to clean your home and you thought, "Oh no, again," and it felt like I can't do it, whatever it was, who was there cheering for you? Imagine the difference it makes in the world. This woman, if we let this illustrate life, she would have ended up fourth, no medal. In this case, her potential blossomed, she got the silver medal. That would never have happened, I assume, without that support beside her going up that hill. Imagine the potential that you can unleash in yourself, but most of all, in the people around you if you cheer for them. Potential that the world would never otherwise see. So, the first thing I want to bring from these Olympic Games in regards to leadership, remember to cheer for the people around you. Give that extra cheer. And if you want to receive it yourself and say, "Oh, why am I going to give it to others?" Well, I had a good friend that said, "Give that which you want to receive." That's the way it works. And that leads me straight into the second lesson on leadership from the Olympic Games, and that's from the cross-country skiing too. Again, the Swedes. There was the Swedish men this time in the skiing event. The 30 kilometers, whatever that is in miles, I think it's like 20 miles they ski. And halfway through the race, one of the skiers, Jonas Olsson, got an opportunity to escape from the pack. It just happened sort of by accident in the beginning, but he had a few meters of a distance between him and the rest of the skiers. And he took the opportunity. Someone said it's better to be prepared and not have an opportunity than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. This guy was prepared and he had the opportunity and he seized it. Again, lessons for leadership, but that's not what I wanted to talk about. He took off and he got a bit of distance between him and the chasers. What happened was that the other Swedish skiers, one of them especially, who was also one of the favorites to win the race, they started skiing for this other guy. They helped, like in bicycle races, when they came up on the front of the pack, they sort of slowed the pack down a little bit, just a little bit. So they helped the guy up in front. And they started focusing, as it seemed to me, more on his success than their own success. Of course, that was also team success, but they helped him. And amazing things happened. This one skier, Anders Södergren, he hadn't made any results pretty much at all. Bad results, poor results all season. Now all of a sudden he was one of the most energetic in the whole group. He later ended up 10th, which was a great success for him considering the season he had. But this came from him, as I assume, of course, he's been working out and training and all these things, but from focusing on helping the other guy. And even more special, the guy Markus Hellner, who also, a Swedish guy, who also focused his skiing on helping the other guy up front. What happened then? Well, in the end, the other skiers, helped by a Russian and a few others, they caught up with this Swedish guy in front. But Markus Hellner, who had been focusing so much on helping the other guy, eventually won the race. He had an enormous burst of energy, and afterwards when they were analyzing this, they said that he wasn't nervous during the race. He could really relax, even though he was doing a lot of work to help his teammate up front. He was not focusing so much on himself or his achievements. He was focusing on someone else. And when we do that, amazing things can happen. There's a saying also, if a path to happiness is giving more than you accept back. If you do that, amazing things can happen. And also if you feel like you have too many problems, focus on someone else. Because when you focus on someone else, a lot of our own problems tend to disappear or shrink quite a bit. So in your leadership, make sure that you focus on giving more to others than you expect back. And you will see that a lot of things you call problems will sort of dissolve into thin air. And there will most likely also be this wonderful burst of energy and feel good when you do that. Like for this guy who won the gold medal. His friend who got away, Jonas Olsson, who was out leading, he came in third and won the bronze. So it was a great team success also. It was amazing to see how they did it. So that is 2 of the leadership lessons from the Vancouver Olympic Games in 2010. Whether you're interested in sports and are going to watch the Olympic Games or not, I wish for you a successful time in your leadership, and most of all, enjoy your leadership.